Hello, welcome to Mississippi Insight Meditation. For more information about our organization or to leave a much needed donation, please visit our website at msinsightmeditation.org.
Mississippi Insight Meditation. My name is Christy Grassis. And tonight I would like to talk about overthinking. But before we get into that, perhaps we could take just a few minutes, take a few breaths, settle into this space and time. So I'll ask you to close your eyes and take a few long, slow, deep breaths. We'll use this time to settle our mind and to fully connect to our body. With each in-breath, deepening the awareness of our body. On each exhale, relaxing any place of tightness or tension. On the inhale, being mindful of how our body moves and shifts. On the exhale, sending a wave of relaxation. So tonight's topic is overthinking. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. Just kidding. Honestly, though, I didn't have to put a lot of effort into the talk itself because it's something that I have worked with extensively. Many psychologists believe that overthinking can cause us to become unmotivated. We worry to the point of inaction. It can also cause anxiety, stress, depression. I heard a talk once by a guy named Dr. Hutton, something like that. He was from the Palm Beach Institute in Florida. And he said that overthinking makes it hard to enjoy life and can impact emotional regulation and sleep patterns. So overthinking not only negatively affects our minds, it affects our bodies as well. Before I start with the details, I should probably throw out a few definitions. There is a difference between thinking things through and overthinking. It's a healthy, smart idea to think about things when making a decision or evaluating a situation. But overthinking is defined as thinking about something too much or for too long. So, how do we know the difference? How do we know if it's too much? For myself, I recognize the difference through mindfulness. If I am mindfully setting aside time to think something through or make a decision, and that's what I'm doing at that moment, then to me, that's skillful thinking. If I'm trying to do something else, but my brain keeps leaving what I'm doing, that's unskillful. So if you're thinking is more harmful than helpful, or if it's happening at the wrong time, then it's overthinking. This concept became clear to me when I was on vacation. I'm not even sure where I was. It was someplace tropical. I do remember that. And I kept thinking about everything I had to do at home, right? An upcoming appointment, a project I was starting, a service call I needed to make. My body was sitting on a beach with a beautiful sunset in front of me, but my mind was back at home. I was missing everything, all the beauty, the wonder, because my mind was on overdrive somewhere else. Side note, I noticed when I got home and I had all those things I needed to take care of, my mind was wishing I was back on that tropical island. So it's kind of a trap I laid for myself. That's when it became extremely clear to me that I needed to keep my mind with my body to fully enjoy life. So, why do we overthink? I'm not a psychologist, but a quick Google search this morning threw out a few words like self-doubt, concern about repeating past patterns, anxiety, traumatic experiences, feeling a lack of control, growing up in chaos, fear of failure. I'm sure there's more, but whatever the reason for overthinking, the takeaway that I got from my search was that it is a learned pattern of behavior. And if it's something we developed, it's something we can undevelop. So how do we do that? How do we look at overthinking within the container of the Dharma? The first thing I recommend is spending time with the idea of not self. The concept of anatta, that's the Pali word that means not self, can be difficult to grasp. And there's some debate among Buddhist scholars. But for our purposes tonight, I'd like for you to think of it like this. If I were to show you a picture of yourself when you were 10 years old, and I say, is this you? Is this who you are? Your answer is going to be, yeah, that's me, but it was a long time ago. I'm different now. You've changed, right? Your body, your thoughts, your perceptions, your knowledge. That picture is you, but it's not exactly who you are now. And it's easy to see the difference between the 10-year-old self and the current age self. And what I want you to understand is we are always changing. From moment to moment, you are not the same person you were 3 decades ago, but you're also not the same person you were a year ago. And honestly, there have probably been some slight shifts and changes from when we started talking 10 minutes ago. If this is a new concept and you're just grasping it, you're different than you were 10 seconds ago. So that is how we look at not self. We are always evolving and changing. And the Buddha taught that clinging lies at the heart of suffering. Since we cling to this sense of self, he recommended using not self as a strategy to dismantle clinging. So sometimes we cling to the idea, oh, I'm an A-type personality. I used to say that. Or I'm a worrier by nature. Or I'm just an anxious person. Or I need to overthink things because no one else does. We cling to this idea that it's who we are. But that's just a story that we tell ourselves. We don't have to believe that commentary. Once we decide that it doesn't have to be who we are, we can start looking at it from a different perspective. It's something that we do. And by that logic, it's something we can stop doing. So, how do we stop doing it? How do we stop overthinking? And that answer is mindfulness. Recognize when you are overthinking and observe how it's not skillful. For example, we spend a lot of time and energy in the past ruminating on what ifs and should haves. What if I had done this? I should have said that. This person did such and such. Be mindful of when that happens. Don't get caught up in the various stories that you're trying to change. You can't change it. It's the past. So the minute you become aware of what you're doing, simply label it thinking or ruminating, or that's the past. Bring yourself to the present moment. And it's the same thing for future thinking. If you're sitting on a beach or floating in a pool or holding hands with the person you love, it serves no purpose to think about the project you're going to tackle later. Granted, you do want to spend some time thinking about that project before you start. Perhaps make a list of the materials you're going to need, what steps you're going to take. But I'll ask myself, is it skillful to do it now? The truth is, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have to sit down and rethink it right before I start the project or right before I head to Home Depot. So is it skillful to do it twice or 3 times or 100 times? And the answer is usually no. So I'll just label it planning or future thinking, and I'll bring my mind back to my body, to the here and now, where my life is being lived. So I keep throwing up this term, bringing my mind back to my body, bringing my mind to the here and now. So how do we do that? Well, it's something that we practice on the cushion, right? In meditation, we practice focusing our attention on the breath because the breath is always here and now. Or we focus our attention on the body because our body is always in the current moment. When we meditate, we practice recognizing thinking or emotions. We simply label it, let it go, and bring our attention to the present moment. It's the same thing in life. We practice that on the cushion, and then when in life it happens, we do the same thing. We just bring our attention to the breath, bring our attention to the body, bring our attention to what we are doing in that moment. Does that make sense to everybody? Little nod of heads. Yeah. So I'd like to do a meditation, and we're going to spend some time focusing on our body by doing a body scan, and then we're going to focus on the breath. Now, when your mind wanders, notice I said when, not if. When your mind wanders, in a simple way, label it. Thinking, ruminating, anger, jealousy, whatever you're feeling or thinking, just give it a 1 or 2 word name, then bring yourself back to the present moment. And again, our 3 buzzwords, right? With gentle, loving kindness, without judgment, and without reaction. All right, let's give it a shot. If everybody could close their eyes. And it is helpful to start a meditation with a few long, slow, deep breaths. It's also helpful to spend a few minutes focusing on your posture. Your spine should be erect, nice and straight. If you're sitting, your feet should be planted firmly on the floor if you're in a chair. And pay attention to your head position. Your head should be sitting squarely on your shoulders. It shouldn't be leaning forward or leaning back. It should be nice and straight, sitting directly on your shoulders. You can even extend the vertebrae in the neck. Think of it as if you had a string on the top of your head and someone was pulling it straight up. You can elongate your neck. It's helpful in a meditation to do a body scan. I like to be systematic, starting at the top, relaxing the scalp, relaxing the forehead, the muscles around the eyes, softening the jaw. Some people find it helpful to drop the jaw and then gently let it float back up to your teeth. So it settles in a comfortable, relaxed position. Moving to the neck, we'll relax the muscles of the neck. We can roll our shoulders back a bit and allow them to drop. A lot of people carry tension in their shoulders, always holding their shoulders up by their ears. So allow your shoulders to relax. Keeping your spine straight will relax the muscles in the upper back. And if you find that you can't relax the muscles, do your best to soften around them. Moving to the lower back, we'll relax those muscles. Allowing the muscles in your chest to soften. Your arms, all the way down to your fingertips. Relaxing each muscle. Relax the muscles in your belly. Allow your belly to go completely soft. Allow it to hang in front of you. Now relaxing your pelvic muscles, your sit muscles. Moving down to the legs, the thighs, the calves. Relaxing the muscles in your feet, allowing your feet to just relax onto the ground. Spend a few minutes moving through your body, relaxing any places of tension or tightness you might be feeling. At this moment, I'll ask you to turn your attention to your breathing. Focus on how your body experiences breathing. The rise and fall of the chest, the expansion and the contraction of the rib cage. Spend the next few minutes of this sitting staying with the breath. When you find your mind wandering, with gentle, loving kindness, simply bring it back to the experience of breathing. No matter how many times you need to do that, practice recognizing when your mind is thinking and bring it back to the present moment. So for myself, what I have found is nothing good comes from overthinking. True happiness comes when we live life in the here and now where life is happening. We don't want our mind to be focused in the future where things may or may not actually occur, or in a past where nothing can be changed. Your best life can be found at this moment. So thank you so much for sitting with me tonight.
Thank you for listening to this video provided by Mississippi Insight Meditation. For more content like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, or visit our website at msinsightmeditation.org. All talks are given freely. If you would like to leave a donation, please visit our website. Again, that's msinsightmeditation.org. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this video provided by Mississippi Insight Meditation. For more content like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, or visit our website at msinsightmeditation.org. All talks are given freely. If you would like to leave a donation, please visit our website. Again, that's msinsightmeditation.org. Thank you for listening.